Artificial intelligence advertising is here. Hey everyone, it's Wolfgang. So today Meta made an announcement that is going to affect advertising and marketing digital agencies all over the world. They made a pretty big announcement today. If you work in the ad agency business, this will affect you. So they made a statement. Meta aims to fully automate advertising with artificial intelligence by 2026. That's next year. 2026 is 6 months away, right? We're in June. Hold on, wait. A little bit more than 6 months, about 7 months away, because we just started June. So about 7 months from now, it'll be 2026. Could things change that fast with artificial intelligence? Yes, they could. Ever since artificial intelligence came on the scene, it has progressed rapidly. So let's talk about the size of the ad and marketing agency business in the US. And by the way, what does an ad agency do? It's hired by owners of brands, alcoholic beverages, automobiles, clothing brands, etc., to create advertising content, creative content that is then deployed to large audiences online, on TV, on the radio, and so on, in print media. So how large is the ad agency business in the United States? Right now, it's about $183 billion total revenue. In 5 years, the projection is this could drop by as much as 20%. I think it's going to drop a lot more than that in much less time. That's just my opinion. But since I'm a technology person, I have a lot more confidence in how rapid AI will progress than most people. I've been around disruptive changes in technology for a while because that's been my line of work. So I paid attention to it. I think this is that's too low of an expectation. I suspect in 5 years this revenue could drop by 50%, maybe more. So let's talk about the benefits, okay, of using artificial intelligence to create advertising creative content. So small brands will now be able to match the advertising content quality and distribution of large brands. Small brands, generally, can they afford the same type of high-end ad agency as larger brands? No, they can't. Because right now, these large ad agencies, they are not cheap. They can, their billing is quite high, depending on who you go with. And the reasoning is, if you want an effective ad campaign and great distribution, they know all the ropes. They know how to create content that will grab the audience, and they know where and how to distribute it, right? So small brands can't really compete with that right now. One of the clues for this, if you listen to the radio and you hear local commercials for local businesses, you can often say to yourself, that's got sort of a unprofessional appeal to it. It's not nearly as polished as like national advertising campaigns that you see elsewhere or that you hear elsewhere. So smaller companies, they can only afford a smaller, more affordable ad agencies that don't have the same level of skill. So that's going to change. Small brands will be able to compete with large brands once artificial intelligence is actually making the content. So this is compared to social media, which democratized the distribution of video content. YouTube, as an example, Rumble, any online site that supports video that you can upload videos to and show, replaced a portion of the TV audience, the old TV audience. In the past, when television was free and there were 4 channels and then there was cable TV and then people started cutting the cord because the internet came along, right? So that's what's going to happen with the democratization of advertising content creation. Artificial intelligence will democratize ad content creation and distribution. Anyone will be able to afford it, and it will be sort of level the playing field. So as an example, YouTube is sort of a go-to choice for people who consume video content. YouTube now has more viewers than Netflix, than Disney Plus, than Amazon Prime. YouTube is free, obviously. I mean, you have to watch ads, but it's free. You don't have to pay a subscription. You do for these, but not YouTube. So YouTube democratized the creation and distribution of video content. Well, artificial intelligence, starting with Meta, is doing the same thing for the creation of ad and marketing content. So you can see that if you're working in an ad and marketing agency, you need to pay attention to this and start thinking about where you might fit in after this change starts to evolve. And it's going to evolve, right? Because the initial pass, I don't know if you remember what YouTube looked like in the beginning. It was not nearly as polished as it is now. Incrementally, it got better. So to the point where it is now, where it's got better, it's more popular than the streaming services. So that's going to happen with AI ad content. It's going to start in 2026, maybe sooner. Maybe Google will announce, well, we're going to announce that in the fourth quarter of 2025. We'll have automated, artificial intelligence ad creation. Maybe they'll try to beat Meta to the punch. So here's how this is going to work when AI begins to take over the jobs that used to belong to humans in ad agencies. Ads will change in real time based on interaction with consumers and users. So the ad will be deployed, and then the AI system, will monitor interaction with that ad and make slight changes to the ad to see if it can improve the performance of the ad in real time. So humans in an ad agency can do that too. It's just a lot slower. It's a lot more error prone too. Artificial intelligence can do this in real time. So this sort of takes ad agencies out of the picture. You could, as the owner of a brand, let's say you own a fashion brand. You might say, we're not getting the kind of response from our ads. Can we make some changes? Here are some of the ideas we've had about the changes. You would tell that to the ad agency. They would make changes. They would check to see if that improved things. So this sort of real-time changing by the artificial intelligence system, they're going to monitor how users interact with the ads, and then they're going to change things. It sort of takes the ad agency staff out of the picture, for better or worse. So what should the reaction be for ad agencies? Because this obviously is a disruption to their traditional line of business. So they're going to have to incrementally they're going to have to morph into AI consultants. So a lot of ad agencies are already using AI internally, right? So when brands finally come to them and say, we now have tools that we can use directly, just like someone could create a video and then suddenly be able to upload it and distribute it online with YouTube, we can now create our own ads. So the people in the ad agencies are going to have to add value a different way. They're going to have to become AI consultants. Here's how you can use AI more effectively to try to keep some of the business in-house, inside the ad agency, right? So, but as AI gets better and better, just like YouTube got better and better over time, as artificial intelligence gets better and better at creating ads, monitoring user response, changing the ad to get better response, there will be an ongoing reduced need for humans in ad agencies. And that's why I think this is not accurate. I think a 5-year drop, because these are projections that after artificial intelligence comes into play, that there will be a drop of revenue of up to 20%. I think it's going to be greater than that in less time. That's just my opinion. So here are some loss of contribution effects. By loss of contribution, I mean when humans who used to contribute to something are no longer able to contribute, what happens? So here's an analogy. Robots eliminated assembly line worker jobs, right? So what happened there? The loss of contribution, they just shrunk the number of people employed, right? They didn't need as many people. The same thing happened on farms in the Industrial Revolution. Before there were tractors, everything was done by hand. Once tractors, automated machines started being used, fewer people were needed. So that's going to happen with these ad agencies. It's possible in 10 years, this is my opinion, that a majority of ad and marketing content will be AI generated. 10 years could be 5 years. It could be 5 years that AI will replace everyone in the ad agency. It just depends on how quickly AI systems can be trained to create good content, to be able to monitor user interaction with the content, and then to be able to make changes that move the needle and improve the interaction with the public with the changes being made to the ads. If that happens quickly, it could be less than 10 years. Okay, so there's some. I didn't have room for everything on the board. So here's some of the selling points for using artificial intelligence to create ad and marketing content. Here's how it would be used from the user perspective. Step 1, voice input describing the desired customer and the product being sold. In other words, someone would say, either speak or type to the artificial intelligence system. We are selling a tropical suntan lotion to people between the age of 18 to 34, and then let the artificial intelligence system create a first pass set of ad creative content, deploy it, distribute it, maybe to a small audience before going nationwide, to check to see the acceptance. if it's accepted, if it strikes home. And then the artificial intelligence system can make changes to that content and incrementally improve the response. And then it can be deployed. It can be broadcast widely, a wide net. So step one, step one, voice input describing the desired customer and the product. Step two, artificial intelligence creates the ad campaign, the creatives, the images, text, video, etc. instantly, right? There's no delay. Unlike an ad agency that might take a week or maybe longer to create the first pass digital content, the artificial intelligence system can do it almost in real time. Artificial intelligence deploys the first pass content and monitors the interaction of users. And then the artificial intelligence system adjusts the creative content, the ads, in real time to increase the positive interaction with users. So those were 4 steps. Only the first step required a human. And that's where we're going. Ultimately, this democratization of the creation of ad content, there will only be one human interaction. It will be at the very beginning. This is the product. Here's our target customer. And then the AI will take everything from there. And maybe that will happen in 2 years, maybe a year. I have a lot more confidence in technology than most people. I don't think this is accurate. This is the current projection. In 5 years, revenue for ad agencies will drop by up to 20%. It could go down to 0 by then. I don't know. I've got a lot of confidence in technology. Some people don't. So eventually, what's going to happen to these ad agencies? Well, we could get to a point in the future where only one human is needed to run an ad agency, just one. And then there won't be any more ad agencies. I mean, initially, brands will still want to have the crutch of a human to talk to. Here's our product, here's our target demographic. Please deploy our ad stuff using artificial intelligence. One person at an ad agency could do that. And then eventually everything will be brought in-house. These systems work. If you think about it, if a company wanted to create a YouTube campaign, are companies doing that in-house right now? Yes, they are, right? A lot of companies, especially those selling things to the public, create user information videos and post them on YouTube to help their customers. So eventually there will not be any more ad agencies. That's probably going to be in less than 10 years. That's just my expectation. I think that this type of business is going away. Artificial intelligence does not need a lot of human interaction. So, once enough systems are trained on how to do this, creation of ad content, feedback loop, poll the users, see how well the ad content is doing, make changes, poll again to see if the changes worked, and rinse and repeat. So that's kind of the challenge for ad agencies. Meta made this announcement today. Meta aims to fully automate advertising with AI next year. It's possible Google is already working on this, and they will announce, or they'll actually roll out an initial system using artificial intelligence to enable brands to start playing with, to start creating ad content. So if you're in an ad agencies, the first thing you can do is become an expert with artificial intelligence. And then from there, just monitor how quickly brands start doing everything in-house. Because if you think about it, once artificial intelligence systems are trained enough on how to create and deploy ads and marketing content, these brands will hire one person maybe in-house to set things up and to get things started. The only human interaction needed is what's the product, what's the target customer, and then the artificial intelligence system does the rest, right? So that's where things are going. So I didn't mean to be disappointing for anyone. I know this is affecting people, and it's going to affect other careers too. So it's kind of a good news, bad news thing. If you're a company though, and you're spending millions of dollars creating ad and marketing content, you're really going to love this, because even small brands will be able to make use of these systems once they're all trained and deployed. It's going to be very easy for every company. It'll be just like YouTube is now. You'll be able to create a video very easily, relatively easily, and upload it, and it gets distributed. So for a company spending millions, that part of their budget will be spent on other things, not on ad agencies. So if you have any questions, please post questions in the comments. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions. And I very much appreciate everyone watching, and have a great day.